Hello, hello. All right, today I'm just going to do a quick video. This is mostly for if you've purchased makeup from me before, so I can kind of guide you through it. Sorry. I can kind of guide you through it if you're a new customer or if you feel like you're needing some troubleshooting. I'm so sorry. I'm getting over the flu. And so it's got some nasty leftovers. So I'm gonna show you what I do, kind of give you some tips, help you out along the way. So first thing, I prime my face with Stay Spray. And I'm just gonna use the Perfector and spray it on here. And then go on my face like this. If you didn't purchase Stay Spray, you can use your own setting spray that you have before to prime, but I definitely would say do not prime with like a makeup primer. If you're priming with a makeup primer, like a cream makeup primer, it usually has silicone in it, and that will kind of make it, hi baby, that will kind of make it have a kind of a too slippery surface for the cream makeup to go on. And even if it doesn't have silicone on it, it's still going to kind of counteract with your cream makeup. So if you really feel like you have to use a cream primer, make sure it doesn't have silicone, and make sure that you set it sits in your skin for 20 minutes before. And same with moisturizer. If you're going to moisturize, let it moisturize, sit in 20 minutes before you put on your makeup. Okay, so we've primed. Then I'm going to go ahead, and I have just kind of dark under eye. So I go in with this Petal, and I just kind of lightly tap Petal under my eyes. Obviously, you can skip this step if you're not using Petal under your eyes. If you're using another color correcting highlight color like Mango or June, or if I've given you a color correcting, then you would do it now. So I just use a small end of the Detail Hack. You could use your finger if you don't have the Detail Hack. Then I'm going to go in with my all over highlight color. I'm actually mixing White Peach and Aura right now, but you would just use whatever color I color matched you as your all over highlight color. So I like to use the fluffy end of the B Squared bronzer and blush brush, but if you don't have this, you can use this side of the Detail Hack brush. You can use either side of the 30-second hack brush. This will just be what you use to apply your all over highlight color. So I'm just going to do a small amount. You can see I just have a small amount there. And I'm just going to tap in first, and then I'll just kind of rub it in circles. So that's what you're going to do to apply your highlight all over. And make sure that you're not using too much product. If you're using too much product, it will crease. For sure it will crease. A little bit goes a long way. So just use what you have on your brush. Make sure you really blend it out in circles, and then you can get more after you've blended it completely if you feel like you need more. The boys are crying, of course. And I'll just apply this over my entire face. I feel like I like to have just a nice even canvas. So sometimes people will leave just like the contour and blush spot open, but I just feel like I like to use my highlight color all over my face in just a nice thin layer. Okay, so after I've done my highlight color, most people will have like a brightening color. So, but if you didn't get a brightening color, that's fine. You can just apply your, I'm so sorry. You can just apply your regular highlight color all over your face. But if you did get a brightening color, you're going to take that brightening color and just put it in your under eye area in a triangle shape. And again, don't use too much product. I'm just using a tiny bit, just tapping it in and then tapping it to my face, and then blending it out with small little taps. So if I'm wiping it, what I'm going to do is just wipe off the makeup that I just applied. So I just want to tap it and kind of stipple it into my skin, if that makes sense. Cover that. So I'll apply the brighter color there under my eyes, you can brighten up here on your forehead if you feel like you need to, here under your chin and on your nose, just kind of where the light would illuminate your face, I guess, and make it brighter. Okay, so the highlight part is all the way done. Now we're going to do contour. So if you have, I'm going to use the flat end of my detail hack brush. If you don't have this, you can use, and you can also use the pointy end if you like to. You can use either end really of your 30-second hack brush, but most people will use this end for the contour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into my contour color, just a tiny bit, really hardly any, and then I'm going to find my cheekbone and fill where it curves all the way under, and then what I'm going to do is just brush up on that spot with my contour. Now I don't want to go all the way into my hairline or else it will kind of make it look like I have a beard, and I don't want to come all the way to my nose or else it'll make it look like I have a mustache. So you got to be careful with contour because you can add some facial hair on yourself. So I'll just blend that up, blend that in. Blend it a little bit with my perfector. And then I'll do the same on the other side. So find that spot where it curves under, and then just brush the contour up in that spot, and then just continue to blend it up, 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 so you don't have an ugly, harsh line. You want it to look as natural as possible. So blend it up. If you're having a hard time making it blend, then that's when I'll go in and I'll use the perfector. So you can use the perfector, which I think is amazing because it's nice and squishy and soft, or you can use any other beauty sponge that you have. Okay, so then I've got it on my cheeks, and then I'm going to go apply it on my forehead, and I'll just kind of brush it in by my hairline, and I'll just kind of brush here and then drag it down so it blends in nicely. I just want to create a small shadow on my head, because if you're adding dimension here on your face, then you want to add dimension everywhere else. You don't want to have like just 3D cheeks and not a 3D face everywhere else. And then sometimes I use the leftover that I have just here on my jawline. I don't contour my nose. If you do contour your nose, you'll just take a tiny bit and just kind of brush it on the sides of your nose. But you need to make sure that you keep this part right here nice and light, and also this part nice and light. So you just kind of want a small little blended line on your sides. Alright, now we'll go in with blush. If you only have one brush, if you have the 30-second hack brush, use this side of your brush for blush. If you have the detail hack brush, use this side of your brush and just blend it in really well. I'm going to use the blush brush. It's hard to say so many brushes all at once. I'm going to use the blush brush and use the small end, and then I'll blend it out. So I'm going to use Hollywood today. It's kind of pink with like a goldy shimmery. So blush you can use a little bit more, but still, like, look at that. It's hardly any, and it's going to appear right on my skin. Nice and pretty. So you see I just blend it in and then blend it up. I'll blend it right here on the apple of my cheeks, and then I'll push it up above my contour, kind of up by my eye. It looks brighter in real life. Maybe I should go heavier for you guys. Then everyone will say, why do I have such big cheeks in real life? Same thing on the apples. Just kind of dot it in and then brush it up. There we go. You can see that better. All right. Now you need, once you're all set, you're going to set with, sorry, I'm just going to make this brighter for you. I just feel like you can't see my cheeks in this camera. I look very pink in real life, but on the camera, it's just normal. Okay, so now, no matter what, you have got to set cream makeup. So you've got cream makeup on your face. If you leave it like this, what's going to happen is it's going to smear all over your phone, and it'll smear all over your sunglasses, it'll smear everywhere, okay, because it's got to be set in. So it's going to go on top of your face, and it's not going to settle into the creases. So it's nice because it kind of works with your skin, but if you don't set it, then it will just kind of go everywhere. So I really think some people use one or the other, set it with powder or set it with a setting spray. I think you need both. So I set it with a setting spray first, so I use the Stay setting spray, and then I set it with a powder second. And you can switch that order around however you feel like. You can use one or the other. I highly suggest getting the Stay spray from Maskcara because it's really, really good, and it's cost-effective, comparable to like Urban Decay. I think it's better. But if you want, like, I've never used any over-the-counter one, or over-the-counter. We're talking medication now. I've never used any drugstore ones. So if you like Elf or something, I don't have any advice for those. But you can definitely try them and see if they work. So I'm just going to shake it up and then close my eyes, hold my breath, and spray. And then I'm just going to kind of fan that off, let it dry a little bit, and then I'll go in with powder. So I've used lots of different powders. So if you need powder recommendations, I definitely have a ton. Right now I'm using the Coty Airspun. It's a loose translucent powder, and a lot of people use this one in the makeup industry anyway. It's a nice heavy one, and it lasts a long time. I really like it. I don't think it's like my very favorite one. I really like the NYX shoot, I can't remember what it's called. It's a NYX loose setting powder. Studio something, maybe. I don't know. If you really want to know, you can message me and ask me, and I'll look it up and tell you. But I really like that one. I feel like it's nice and light, but at the same time, it sets it really well. Like, I don't feel like my face is sticky or anything after. I like the Maskcara setting powder. It's a packed setting powder, but I like it when I know that my face isn't going to be sweaty or hot or anything. So I really like to use it in my under eye area, but it's not as heavy as the others, so I feel like it sits lighter on my face than the others. So really, any powder is fine if it works for you. So I have recommendations if you need. If you have a certain one that you like, try using it. If you feel like it's making the makeup look weird, try another one. The good thing about powders is you can get them pretty cheap. I've also heard really great things. Speaking of cheap, this is not cheap. I've heard great things about the Too Faced Peach setting powder, which I want to really try. So I'll test that one out for everybody. Okay, I'm going to go in with, this is the Powder Power Brush, and you can use whatever brush you have to finish off your powder. And I'm just going to sit it in my face. So if I'm brushing, just like wiping powder everywhere, it's going to pretty much mess up what I've already done with my contour and blush. And you don't want to do that, obviously. So even if you're using a really nice and fluffy brush, still just kind of stick it in and put it in the highlight areas. So you can completely avoid the contour and the blush areas. The cream for the highlight is a little creamier than the cream for the contour and blush, so the contour and blush will not remain sticky for you all day. If you have an oily face and you feel like it is sticky for you all day, then you can set it with a bronzing powder. Maskcara has one called Cayman, and it's really nice for setting contour. I don't think it's the best for using as a bronzer. Wow, bronzer. As a bronzer, but it is really good for setting your contour. Alright, so now we're all set. I'm going to go in with my illuminator last step. If you have a cream illuminator, then you'll just kind of tap it on your fourth finger, and then you'll go on the high of your cheekbone and tap it in. You can use as much or as little as you want, just to kind of create that finishing sparkle. I'm actually going to do 2 illuminators today so I can show you powder. If you have a powder illuminator, then you'll want to go in with like a pretty fluffy small brush. This is it's new, Best Blend Forever BBF brush, and this end of this brush is really, really nice for putting on illuminator. So I just tap a tiny, tiny bit, like so tiny. And this is called Goldie, what I'm putting on. It just has a pretty gold color. I'm going to be just so sparkly today because I'm putting on so much so that you can see it in the camera. But it's extra sparkly in real life. Okay, and now is, so the face is all done. Now is where I would go in and I'd finish my eyes, because my mascara is not finished yet. Or I'd put on falsies if I wanted to finish my lips, and then we're all the way done. So I hope that is more helpful. I was trying to be more thorough on how to go through the entire face. If you have questions, ask me. I can do a faster version later for you to watch, but hopefully this is helpful. Thank you for watching.